And it would have been on video.
Oh, that's right, you're videotaping this. That's frightening.
Sure.
Okay, now, the most important thing for the E's, and I'm going to stress this again, is the guidelines. You really have to draw the baseline and the x-height line on all three drawings so that you can line them back up again. Otherwise, you're likely to twist or turn the character and you won't have any idea that that's happened. And you'll wonder why they don't line up right. Well, you're sure you do them correctly. Okay, let me give you a brief overview of the adjustable triangle and how to read the markings on it. Everyone knows from high school geometry that the sum of all the angles on a triangle equal what?
180.
180 degrees, right. And if you have a right triangle, that means the sum of these two will always equal 90. So you'll notice you've got two sets of numbers up here, and they always equal 90 if you were to add them together. 0 plus 90, 10 plus 80, 20 plus 70, 30 plus 60, and so on. You have two angles when the triangle is closed. You have two perfect 45-degree angles on both sides. As soon as you open the triangle, that changes. So the angle on this side has less than 45 degrees. The angle on this side is more than 45 degrees. And you can see the numbers written right there. 40, 50. 30, 60.
Oh.
20, 70, etc. So that helps you understand how the numbers correspond to the separate angles on the triangle. We're going to be working with a 67-degree slant on our character. So I'll set my little decoder pin here to 67 degrees right there. Keep in mind that the smallest increment on the scale on your adjustable triangle is not a full degree. It's a half degree. So just kind of watch that. Don't get confused about how you set it. Put the hypotenuse or the long side of your triangle against your t-square. That's not 67 degrees, that's 77 degrees. Ah, and it's on video.
How embarrassing.
Oh well, she can edit that out. All right, so with the hypotenuse against your t-square, you can safely make a 67-degree angle on your paper. This establishes the extremis on the top and the bottom of your E. So if we start drawing, we're going to draw very lightly here. We're going to plant a times italic E. That's where the extreme is going to be. Don't forget the overshoots. And that's where the extreme will be at the bottom. And I will expect you to pay closer attention to your sample than I'm doing because I don't have a sample. I just have it memorized. Okay, the nose of the E comes out here, and you're drawing really this white shape, this teardrop shape, the counter space of the E. It's almost symmetrical. That is, if I were to draw a line through the middle of it here, it would divide it into almost two equal shapes. They're not quite equal, but they're close. Okay, we'll get a little tighter with that. And this curve comes down, and it doesn't get horizontal till the last heartbeat, right there, just as it enters the swell of the E as it comes down here. It's at that point that it's horizontal. I'm pointing that out because that will be useful later on when we start slanting the E more. Okay, so I've got that lined up with my extrema. Let me come down here. Clean this up a little bit. It's really creating a spiral. This inside curve should just be a graceful, graceful spiral as it comes in. thickest part of the E should be right about here on the lower side. Okay. I love drawing type. It's just fun.
We should have a Facebook group where we post all the assignments. Because we have all the same classes together.
Are you going to post this on YouTube?
On everything.
On everything.
Don't be nervous, Nils.
Hey, I'm not dropping my pants, so I'm not nervous. Like some instructors have been known to do.
Oh, I heard that.
What?
I've heard about that before.
What happened? Nobody tells me anything.
You don't need to know.
That sounds fake. No, I heard something else. But maybe I'm not.
John's disappointed he wasn't in that class. Dang. Nothing fun ever happens to John. Okay, now, I would take the time to clean this up. Do we have an eraser shield? There we are. Okay. Just clean it up a little bit here so you know where
That's
the edge
such a
is.
nice tool. I didn't even know what it was for. I thought it was to draw the shapes.
No,
It's for paper cuts.
You know, like.
for paper clips.
Paper cuts.
Oh, yeah, it can give you a paper cut.
A nasty one.
Really?
Did
Yeah.
you get one?
Yeah, I got a nasty one.
Oh wow, I'll watch out. It didn't look like it would.
It's like a little razor blade. It's so sharp.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna pull
That might be
just
where I
a
got that
little
paper
bit
Be
cut.
more.
careful.
Okay, it's time to sharpen this pencil. All right, that's a pretty good start. It's important that you get that first E drawn as accurately as you possibly can, because if you don't,
That's
all
beautiful. From memory?
from
Oh
memory,
my gosh. I wish I could do that.
you will.
I
Okay,
don't know.
someday. I don't know, you may be my replacement. You just never know. Just kind of clean that curve up a little bit, because my ego's at stake here. My only purpose to live is because I can draw letters. Okay, now we're ready to do the next E, and I'm going to use a 4-degree increment. You can use 3 or 5. You can even use a 6, although I don't recommend it because it gets to be a little extreme. And, oh, thank you.
Is 5 still extreme?
No, 5 will work just fine.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 4, so I'm going to set this from 67 degrees down to 63. There we go. 63 degrees, put it against my T-square. And I'm going to draw my new angle so that it intersects the old angle exactly in the middle, right halfway between x height and baseline. So we can see exactly how far things should shift. The higher up we go, the more things shift to the right. The further down we go, the more things shift to the left. And it's important to realize that it's a shift precisely left or right. Now here's the new extrema, so I can move the highest part of the E right over here, and that's going to push the nose of the E out a little ways. And the closer I get to the center, the less of a shift there is. When I'm at the center, there's virtually no shift at all. And that's going to enter at the very same angle, horizontally, that it did before. But the further away from the center I get, the more I shift to the right. The weight stays the same. So even 4 degrees, it's pretty subtle. And the shoulder here is going to move in a little bit, move to the right just a little bit, but by the time I get down to the middle, it's congruent to the old E.
The white shape, that stays the same, right? The measurement?
The white shape will cover the same real estate, but it's moved over. You can see the old E peeking